but only by 0.2 seconds. In something like Huntress's deerskin gloves, which is 20% faster reload speed, made it 3.2 seconds instead of 4. So, and same with Trickster's Ripper Brace. So the base kit faster reload speed for these killers now is better than the add-on reload speed. Obviously, you can stack that reload speed add-on top of it, or Iron Maiden on top of it, but I think 3 seconds is solid enough. I would have probably done like 2.5, to be honest, 2.8. But 3 seconds isn't bad. I'm really glad to see that change. All right, so we got the new developer update. This just dropped 30 minutes ago. I was reading it. I just woke up. I was reading it in the freaking when it dropped 20 minutes ago. But these are some great changes right here. Command 8. Okay, so here it is, the 2023 developer update, and we'll just hop straight into it. So anti-face camping, I made a video about that yesterday, the built-in deliverance. You probably don't want to find yourself on the hook in the first place, but it can become quickly frustrating if the killer decides to wait nearby, preventing all but the most coordinated teams from rescuing you. Camping has been a long since contentious topic. While there are times where camping is smart for the killer to do, if there's a survivor nearby, for example, there's not much survivors being camped can do. To help in the most extreme cases, we're introducing a new feature that can give you a second chance. The closer the killer is, the faster the meter will build. Once it's full, you'll gain the ability to hook yourself with a 100% chance of success, even during the second hook phase, and hooking yourself in this way will grant you the usual benefits such as endurance or haste, which again I agree with. I think that's a good change. I would say not even survivors being nearby is good for camping, but if there's one gen left and you know that gen's like about to pop, I think that's a good time to camp too. But you know, whatever, that's something small. Yeah, 10 short cannot be abused by aggressive survivors. The meter will slow down significantly or even stop entirely when other survivors are nearby. And additionally, once the exit gates are powered, the feature is disabled entirely. This is because at this point in the match, the killer needs to do whatever they can to secure one last kill, so we can't expect them to graciously leave the hook. Exactly. I had a couple matches where I got bitched at for camping when when the gates were open. I'm like, what do you want me to do? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave. And it's much needed, dude. The amount of times I've been tunneled camped by a blight nurse is kind of crazy. All right. Here it is, the Skull Merchant rework. This is really interesting what they decided to do. So lock on the active zones. Being the main culprit behind the Skull Merchant's ability to defend generators are no more. On top of making survivors exposed, these zones provide the Skull Merchant with too much information on the survivors within them, allowing the killer to quickly react and chase them away. With the active zones removed, the Skull Merchant's drones need a new way to lock onto survivors. Now, whenever a survivor is scanned by a drone's beams, they will receive 1 stack of lock-on. Upon reaching 3 stacks of lock-on, the survivor will immediately receive a claw trap. However, avoiding a drone's scanners won't be easy thanks to the introduction of 2 new modes. Eyes in the Sky has 2 new modes, Stealth Mode and Scouting Mode. In Stealth Mode, the drone's spinning beams will be invisible, and the drone will be much quieter. Survivors will want to watch closely for the lights on the drone itself to tell where the beams are so they can sneak up and disable it. In Scouting Mode, the drone's scan lines will be visible and rotate much faster, making them more difficult to approach or run by undetected. In either mode, the drone's scan lines will not detect a survivor who's stationary, effectively preventing them from being used to guard generators. A survivor can interact with the drone in either state to disable it for 45 seconds, after which they will return to stealth mode. Claw traps. Survivors who end up with a claw trap will find themselves on the receiving end of the following effects. If they're healthy, they'll be instantly injured. If they're injured, they'll receive deep wounds. This will not grant the survivor a speed boost. The survivor suffers from the broken status effect until the trap is removed. Their locations will be revealed on the killer scanner for a short duration. Additionally, survivors with a claw trap who are scanned by one of the killer's drones receive a 10% movement speed penalty for 6 seconds and are revealed to the killer with killer instinct for 3 seconds. So you get those first 4 debuffs, or I guess first 3. When you get the claw trap, and if you already have the claw trap and you hit another zone, then you receive the 10% movement speed penalty and killer instinct. The claw trap's battery will expire and the trap will be removed automatically after 45 seconds. So that's 45 seconds of being broken. We have made many adjustments, many aspects of the Skull Merchant to improve the way it feels to play as and against her. The Skull Merchant now has 6 drones available, was 4. The Skull Merchant will now immediately become undetectable for 8 seconds after deploying a drone. The minimum distance between drones is 16 meters, was 22. The killer's movement speed is no longer decreased when checking the scanner. Lock-on progress no longer decays. Drones can no longer be manually reactivated. Drones can now be placed above or below other drones deployed on different floors. Failing to hack a drone will now grant 1 stack of lock-on instead of instantly locking on. The Skull Merchant's footsteps are now quieter. We've updated her chase music. Thankfully, we have reviewed the Skull Merchant's add-ons, adjusting and giving new effects to others. So she got a total rework, but also she got a lot of buffs too. A lot of buffs. 2 new drones, 8-meter decrease in how close she can put her drones together. It becomes 8 seconds undetectable for 8 seconds after deploying a drone. Better chase music, quieter footsteps. All right. Combine these changes push the Skull Merchant's drones into a more chase-oriented direction, giving them more immediate consequences when they're triggered rather than slowly building over time. At the same time, her ability to defend generators for excessive lengths of time has also been reduced substantially. We'll be keeping a close eye on these changes and making further adjustments as needed. Alright, now we got a map update, and thank God it's the Shattered Square. Man, this map was brutal. Alright. This update will feature a gameplay update to the Shattered Square map. When reviewing feedback for this map, we identified a few points of feedback we wanted to address. Low obstacles, size and layout. The Shattered Square is among the largest maps in the game, and contrary to its name, it isn't even a square, it's actually a rectangle. The size of this map can make patrolling a little difficult. To help with this, we reduced the size of the map, turning it into a proper square in the process. Thank God, because, dude, this map is brutal for 4.4 killers. It is brutal. The positions of some tiles have been readjusted as a result. Line of sight. Most obstacles in the map tend to be fairly low, making it quite easy for killers to spot survivors at long ranges, and difficult for stealthy killers to sneak up on survivors. To break up these long sight lines, we have rearranged some tiles to limit how far you're able to see from any given point. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but, like, you know what I mean? That was the one saving grace when you're playing a ranged killer, is that you could land long range shots on this map. And now, because we have stealth killers in the game, and they'd suffer the most from long lines of sights as well, because they're already weak to begin with, they switched up some tiles. So, kind of a lose there for me, because I don't really play stealth killers. Last but not least, we've made various changes to the map to make it easier to navigate. This includes making it clear which objects can be walked on and which will block your path. Now, this one's interesting. The McMillan Estate. So we basically get 10 new maps, right? Because there's 5 McMillan Estate maps. Our workout maps doesn't stop there. The entire McMillan Estate map is being expanded. Each map in the realm received a second alternate version. So there's 5 McMillan Estate maps, and each of them are getting a second alternate version. So that's 10 right now for McMillan Estate. What does this mean? The next time you load into Suffa Pit, for example, things might be a little different. The trademark mineshaft will still be there, but it may be in a different spot. The shape and layout of the map will also be slightly different. The goal with these variants is to add more variety to existing maps without changing the unique properties that sets them apart, such as size, bottleneck, choke points, or separate sides of either map, and so on. Now we're getting a few small changes to killer perks and perks and powers. Furtive Chase is getting an update. Furtive Chase is one of the less used killer perks, providing a way to switch obsessions throughout the match and reduce your tear radius during a chase. To give this perk a slight boost, we're increasing the tear radius reduction for each token to 5 meters, was 4 for a maximum of 20. So when you're in chase at max stacks, your tear radius will be 20 meters lower. So that means if you're playing Huntress and you're chasing somebody, you'll have a 4 meter tear radius. If you're playing Michael Myers in tier 3, you have a 32 meter tear radius. Well, it'll be 12 now. Background player, the exhaustion perk. To make sure this perk is meaningful when it activates, we've increased the duration of the speed boost to 5 seconds, was 4. Because the problem was people were using the speed boost to get to the killer to make the save, and then they dropped a flashbang, and then the speed would wear off like literally a second later, so they'd have no distance. So now they made it 5 seconds so you can run, drop the flashbang, and run away, I guess. To cap things off, we made a few adjustments for different killers. As usual, these are smaller scale tweaks that we managed to squeeze in to various updates. So the Trapper is finally getting a change. The Trapper fills a very unique role in Dead by Daylight since he is all over the cover and is unlocked right away. He ends up being a lot of people's first experience playing as killer. Because of this, we try to keep him as simple and straightforward as possible. Set a trap, see a trap, set a trap. Among newer players, the Trapper already performs fairly well, and we don't want to throw off his balance too much. That said, in higher end matches, he can struggle to keep up. To assist in those cases, we made a few changes. 8 bear traps will now spawn on the map. Was 6. The Trapper will receive a 7.5% haste effect after setting a bear trap, which is nice. I think he should get a haste effect when somebody steps in his trap, to be honest. But I mean, after setting a trap too, it's not bad. The Huntress and the Trickster. For both these killers, reloading your projectiles out of locker is a must. However, doing so gives survivors a big head start to run away and gain some distance. For this reason, many Huntress and Trickster players will run add-ons or perks like Iron Maiden to reduce their reload time. To improve quality of life and reduce reliance on these perks and add-ons, we've reduced the reload time for each killer to 3 seconds, was 4 seconds now. Okay, so Iron Maiden makes it to where it's a 2.8 reload time. So this base kit 3-second reload speed is slightly worse than Iron Maiden, but only by 0.2 seconds. In something like Huntress's Deerskin Gloves, which is 20% faster reload speed, made it 3.2 seconds instead of 4. So, and same with Trickster's Ripper Brace. So the base kit faster reload speed for these killers now is better than the add-on reload speed. Obviously, you can stack the reload speed add-on on top of it, or Iron Maiden on top of it, but I think 3 seconds is solid enough. I would have probably done like 2.5, to be honest, 2.8. But 3 seconds isn't bad. I'm really glad to see that change. Speaking of reloads, the Deathslinger also finds himself reloading very frequently. The Deathslinger now reloads in 2.6 seconds, was 2.75. Second, we increased the movement speed bonuses while aiming down sights for the Jaw Smasher and Wanted Poster 1.5 and 3% respectively. So it would be 4.5 in total. And lastly, we adjusted the Legion's BFFs add-on. This add-on grants a 4% movement speed increase when the exit gates are powered, so long as the killer managed to land enough Feral Frenzy strikes during the match. Since the effect is needed to be earned and is only activated by the very end of the match, we're increasing the movement speed bonus to 6% to make it more impactful. With that, we reached the end of the month of this month's developer update. Each of the features and adjustments mentioned in this post will be available for you to try on the PTB starting this week, with the full update going live on all platforms later this date. Oh shit, there's a DBD Discord. As always, be sure to let us know what you think as soon as you get in your hands. Alright, well that does it right there. That was the September 2023 developer update. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to these changes. It's nice that there's gonna be a faster reload speed for the Huntress and the Trickster. It is kind of a pain for the newer people who want to play them and they're missing a lot. I didn't even know it was 4 seconds, to be honest. I never timed it. 4 seconds is kind of crazy. When Huntress and Trickster are out of knives, they should be like, I don't know, 115 at least. You know what I mean? Help them out a little bit more. They do have consistently the lowest kill rates in the game for a reason, but yeah. That does it for this one. I just wanted to make this update real quick, and thanks for watching.